Hello, Richard. Hello, Family Channel, Janet, Russ, Patriot 5 and Patriot 6 here live tonight, Wednesday. Not going to be a very long show because I got a call about 25 minutes ago from Patriot Savior Margaret. And I guess there's a lot of things supposed to happen tonight. A lot of people is going to be tuned into that, which is evident with only 5 people showing up here so far. So I'm not going to take up a lot of time. To be honest with you guys, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but my voice comes and goes right now. It's allergy time of the year, and I've been doing a lot of things this last few days. When my son's away, his old man can play. And what I mean by that, I can get my house fixed up and do things that need to be done. And as we talk, I can be talking 1 minute, just carrying on a great conversation, and the next minute I can't hardly talk at all. So it's not going to be real long. We may have a show tomorrow night because if happens what's supposed to happen, and we're going to get into that. On Monday night's show, Myrna sent me a message and said, music's not playing on here. I didn't know why, because it was playing fine on my phone. I've checked things out. I did a couple videos just for myself with my with my computer and my phone down at the house, and it always plays just right. So I don't know what it was that night. I'm hoping you can hear it tonight, but I'm going to say the pledge and then play the song. But I've got this update thing coming in about 4 or 5 minutes, and I got to be here so I can postpone it for 2 to 3 hours. If I'm not sitting here and it does this within 10 minutes, if I don't see it, it will start the update and we'll lose the whole show. So let's do the pledge and the song, and now we're up to 39 people, and I thank each and every one of you for coming, guys. And as I continue to talk, as we continue to move forward, I really believe this is going to be our week. I do have some news about some special people in our group, some good news. We prove that we are true patriots by our love and devotion for each other. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today.
Can you guys hear it?
Where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt of this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American. Where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless, please bless you.
I hope you guys was able to hear it. It played loud here. My computer is really screwing up while I was listening to this, waiting for that postponement thing to come up, which it finally did. But when I was doing this, you know the three little blue dots right on the top, the chart, where it says the chat chart, they was shooting a dot down faster than I could talk. And now it doesn't look like the chat is moving. I don't know if you guys are now moving a little bit, but it could be one of those nights, guys, that we're going to be hit with some scammers. So moderators, keep your eyes open. I did see when I asked if you guys could hear the song, I couldn't see who said it. I just seen 5x5. That's why I put the thumbs up. But Margaret, if you want to put in the chat here what you told me, who all's going to be speaking and what time in that, and at later tonight, I would appreciate that. So I want to talk a little bit about the kids tonight. All of the Morans going through something that no kid should have to go through. But unfortunately, that's part of life. I've been staying in very much touch. And Jim, if you're on tonight, I just got your message. I haven't been on my phone much at all the last 2 days at all. So Larry, the two girls, Super Jim, Grandpa is now helping the family out, living with them. And I wondered why he didn't move in before while Renee was still with him. But Jim explained it to me today, and I thank him for that. I will respond to you later on tonight, buddy. We're getting quite a friendship there, quite a friendship. And I think that was Renee's plans, but he wrote me some things today that I'm not going to discuss here because I'm not sure I could really get through them because of the sadness and the way she ended up leaving us. But let us remember the magical dream. The magical dream. And remember I talked about magical dreams, because I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Patriot 11. I miss you and Grandma. I hope everything is going good, and still hoping we can get these this ranch when everything happens. And buddy, from what I'm understanding, what we're going to talk about tonight, it might not be really much longer before some amazing things start to happen. Still waiting for Jana to come back to me and tell me if I'm going to get a 5x7 picture of my niece and nephew, the Princess and Hunter. Them are two good-looking kids. As all of our kids are handsome or beautiful. All kids are. Patriot, Karate Kid, and Wyatt Earp. And I was thinking about something there, guys, because I got something really on my mind. I'm going to mention it tonight, but we'll see what happens. Patriot, Wyatt Earp, and Patriot, Karate Kid. Tell your mom to send me a message. I haven't talked to you guys for a long time. I haven't heard from you for a while. Patriot Leona and little Ilana, two beautiful, beautiful young little girls, growing like weeds. The Boogs, Boogie, Boog, Boogie, Boogs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo. Oh, how the 26, what we're hearing could help all of us. We love you and Grandpa. And then my grandkids. I finally heard from my son last night, who's in Jamaica. He sure took after his mom. Now, you might think, well, why is he talking about his son? Well, he's my kid. And ain't that what we're talking about, kids right now? But he sure took after his mom, because his mom, she didn't care. Me, there wasn't a day went by. If I went on vacation, and was gone, I would still call my mom once or twice a day. My son left Saturday morning at 4:00, and I finally heard from him last night. And that's okay, because he's a big boy. It's just that's not me. When I would work, some days I would work 16 hours. And I would still stop by my mom and dad's house on the way home. Mom telling me all you had to do is just give me a call and let me know you're home. What's the fun of that? I want to see my parents. But see, that's the way we were raised, and that's the way Brandon, my son, was raised. But it was great hearing from him, great seeing him, and they're having a great time. And small Hank, I told him I have an ice cream cone for me today. He's supposed to be sending me a picture when he had the ice cream cone about what it was about. I mean, what he had. I haven't heard nothing from him yet. But Patriot, little Kira, I haven't seen her. I wish my son would have called a little earlier last night so I could have seen her, because me and her getting pretty close right now. Guys, I need a minute. Just noticed that my battery on my phone, on my tablet here, is really low. So let me plug it in. So just give me a minute. Probably won't even take that long. There we go. We should be good now. Kept getting these messages that my battery was low, but it should start charging. Everything's plugged in. Patriot Super Gymnast and Patriot5&6 had school today. I didn't get a chance to talk to them, and I got a picture sent to me about the little monkey today. Well, actually, she sent it to Facebook, and that kid is just in a total world of her own. It pretty much takes care of the kids for tonight. So I do want to say that the music that we played tonight is for entertainment purposes only, and these videos are not meant for children to watch. If they watch under the discrepancy of their parents, grandparents, or legal guardians. I normally would start off with good news, but tonight I'm going to start off with something that's very upsetting. One of the things is John Kennedy, our old buddy, doesn't come on here much anymore, but he does watch the videos. He does communicate with me, and John has moved up, and he's a force to be reckoned with in the patriotism movement. He sent me a message today. So much cheating. Stop what's going to happen the 5th. Now, what's going to happen the 5th is totally fake and fixed. Bring in the military and save our country now. And I read that. And I got up and I walked away, and I came back and I read it again. And I got up and I walked it away because I was trying to figure out what I can say to John. Because I thought, you want to talk about something short but sweet? That was it. So I come back, and all I could say to him was, John, I agree with you 100%. I couldn't have said it better myself. And I'm saying this because I think a lot of people are thinking this way. So, the good, Sharon Becky had her surgery today. Her procedure, they went up in behind her heart, checked, and there was not what they was looking for. It was not there, which was good. There's a little bit of problem, but she's on medicines, and they told her, you'll probably be on them the rest of your life. But, this is nurses and doctors. What was that?
Starting to count the book.
Pinocchio, thing, with that little puppet type deal. They're pulling their strings. They got to keep the show up because they're under total orders not to give things away. That's their decision. But, it is what it is, and that's all we can do. That's all we can say. So they told her that. And she said, Ralph, we need those special beds right away. And I said, Sharon, go listen to Restored Republic. So for Jimmy, your family, for all of us here, for all of us that someone who needs these things, these special, amazing beds, go listen to the Restored Republic today. It's not very long. It's only 40-some minutes. But it goes quick because it's very good. The thing that I really liked the most it's either twice or 3 times. He said the 26th of this month, they would be released after BRICS declares the Big N and Big G on the
I
25th.
heard the hat's going to make an announcement on the 28th.
On the 25th. Ron says he heard.
28th.
Ron said he heard the hat's going to make an announcement on the 28th. So where does that put us now? First of all, it puts us very happy for Sharon Becky. She's an amazing young lady. But where does it put us, what we're doing, how things are going? I think it puts us, as I was telling the young lady, Julia, who I write in the Ukraine 5 days a week, I told her that her goal is to come over here and meet me by Christmas. But see, we can cheat there a little bit, because if we don't make it by our Christmas, her Christmas isn't until like 2 or 2.5 weeks later.
January 7th.
January 7th. So that would be 2 weeks later. Ron didn't figure out the days, but no, that was good. I really believe, the hat the other day when he was speaking, in his speech, he said November 5th, ho, ho, ho. I haven't done it yet, but I will. And then maybe I'll do a little video tomorrow on it, because there's 3 or 4 things I want to do, just some geometry on. I'm going to be with the little monkey tomorrow, so I'll have a little time. Ron's worked me to death these last 5 days, but we've got a lot accomplished, me and him.
That guy I listened to today, he also said there won't be an election.
Ron was just telling me that he listens to somebody, he can't remember his name, but he also said there won't be no November 5th, ho, ho, ho.
It's right after Bruce.
But
Anybody that got that copy of Bruce?
I don't think they're being able to chat. Nope, there they are there. Agree, Janet, military is the only way.
Yeah.
Now, they said the first arrest has been made, but I have not heard who it was. I really hope it's not Diddy. But boy, did you hear he almost passed out? Did you guys hear this? That Diddy almost passed out in court? Because guess what's on the table, folks? The death penalty. He thought he was in a place where he was protected, that all he'd get is life. They said he went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But see, here's what I don't understand. They got film. They got recordings. They got them bragging what they do. My goodness gracious, this man. There's a V word for a young girl. And if you're a really good young girl, you try to keep it for a long, long time. This man made sure a certain girl that, I guess when you look at it in one way, would be kind of like Amber is to me. You know what Amber might, I don't want to say the word, but it begins with a D. Took his own D virginity. When I first read this, I said, this has got to be a misprint. No man in his right mind, but they don't have a mind. They think that they were bigger than God. Oh, nope. And now they're going to pay. But think about the island that begins with an E. Think about, I keep going to Facebook. And when I go to Facebook, I keep seeing that old man basketball player has been playing. He came right out of high school. There was a a cowboy, had the last name James, you know. I think this man's in some trouble. I mean, they got him on video, and I've seen it, and I'm sure you guys have seen it. Where in this video, he says, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." Are you kidding me? The things that they do, the things that they say. And, you know, I mentioned my son a little bit ago, and I finally got to talk to him. We did a video call last night. They're at a very nice resort. But then he was telling me, my grandson, small Hank, is only 7 years old. And I know these are very protective places. But there's like 3 or 4 places in this resort. Like if he wants to go to the water park, he comes and tells him, and he goes there. And if he leaves before they go over to get him, he comes straight back. There's a couple of other places, and I'm thinking, are you kidding me? But I can't say nothing because my son doesn't believe it. If I said, are you kidding me? I've never wanted Saturday to come so bad in my life until they'll get on the airplane and fly home, because when I was fine. My stomach has had this sick feeling in it ever since my son told me that. But see, I can't say nothing to him because he not like to bleed the monkeys. He's not a believer. And it's a shame. I also got some good news today from another one of our Patriots. I did not ask her if it was okay if I shared what she said, but I think it'll be okay. I don't think she'll mind. But I kind of wanted to. I kind of wanted to share a few of the things she said, if I can find it. Oh, here's a guy with it. Oh, this Kelly does his fart on here. Never can find what you're looking for. Maybe they took it down. Yeah, I don't see it in here. I wonder if they took it down on me. But who I'm talking about, guys, is Trisha Patterson. And Trisha is living in an area that was hit very, very hard with these very, very bad storms. And just a little bit of her letter. Hey, Ralph. Yes, I have been very busy. I teamed up with groups from 5 different locations who are working together. They lead across to a very large empty warehouse. It is so huge that it is no problem getting several tractor trailers in with no problem. And we have plenty of room to separate donated items and set up dispatch to get supplies where they were needed the most. This was a very huge effort that we were able to get what was needed for survival to these mountain people. Believe it or not, but they ran into some snow in some places. You should see how powerful this mission turned out. The people donating really showed up with exactly what those people needed. Ralph, I sat down quite a few times to cry and thank God for this turnout. I several years ago was in an organization called the JCs. I was in the organization called the JCs. The JCs was there to help people. And, I wanted to read that because here's a lady. And if you guys have never communicated with Tricia, what she has went through, but as the song said, she's still standing. But, I told you about John's dream the other night about Renee. I told you Jim. I told you about Jim having the dream about Renee. And how before he could even say anything to the kids, they all said, Daddy, Mommy was here last night. And that's exactly the advice I was given by Renee to tell Jim and the kids that she would always be with them. As long as they kept her in their heart, she would always be with them. She proved it at Jimmy's birthday when, with no windows, no doors, no nothing open, the candles got blown out. And it made Jimmy's birthday because he knew his mommy was right there. Just because you can't see someone does not mean they're not there. And in Tricia's letter, she said that she misses her family. But she says, my dad comes and talks to me in my dreams. My husband comes and talks to me in my dreams. You see it here. That's what I get. I got a big smile on my face because I got thinking, I believe in this. I believe, as they sing for Michael Jordan, we can fly. I can believe we're going to touch the sky. But no, I do believe in exactly what she said. I was talking to Ron the other day, and Ron has told me this one story over and over about after our mom died. He was sitting, and he looked across into Mom's old chair. And she was sitting there just like she always sat there. I know they've come to me in my dreams, and I didn't want to wake up. I was talking to Julia, the girl from the Ukraine, up through letters the other day, and she said, I got to talk to you about my dream. Her dad passed away when she was very young. And she told me I had a dream, and my dad told me all he ever wants is for her to be happy. And the dream just kept going and going. And she said she walked out. Well, when she finally woke up, she yelled, no. She yelled it so loud that her mom and her best friend live in the same flat as she does because they can't afford to have their own because of what they pay the women in that country. And she yelled no so loud. They come running in wondering what. And she said, I want to go back to sleep and I can't. I want to go back to my dream. And her mom said, why? And she says, because Dad was with me. See, I believe dreams are just part of heaven. Now, yeah, there's going to be bad dreams because what is it? What are we going through now? No matter how happy we get sometimes, these terrible people have to pull you down. I mean, it's funny how sometimes you can control your dreams. Because I was dreaming about this girl one night. And no, it wasn't a naughty dream. So you perverts, get that out of your head. It was just a nice dream. And I was dreaming about her. And then all of a sudden, she turned around. And when she turned back around to me, it was my ex-wife. And I screamed. I just went from one of the greatest dreams I've ever had to a nightmare. And I just looked at her and I said, get the you know what out of my dream. And I looked back up again and it was the girl from the Ukraine. That was a dream I did not want to wake up from. It's funny, it's weird, but just when you love somebody, when you care for somebody, just if you lose them, keep them in your heart. Now, I'm going to say some things that people, if you're listening to me, you're going to think I'm crazy. But a lot of people's been asking me my opinion on this. And I go to Jared Rand and other people involved in the special bets. And I remember when I first started this journey, when I first learned about the special bets, I was on a show one night with Jared Rand speaking. And Jared Rand, you know what, he's probably knows more about these things than pretty much anybody. And he said, as far as they've come, we will be going to heaven on earth. And he does not think people will actually, you know, when you're born, you're promised the one thing you're promised, and that you will die. And he said that you're going to be living heaven on earth. You're going to be able to communicate with loved ones you lost. So why would you want? And, you know, and I believe, and, you know, as I've talked about this, I get thinking about my sister who lost my brother-in-law, her husband, lost her grandson a little bit before that. I get thinking about me and Ron losing our mom and dad. That little girl that died when she was 14 years old for me. There's so many people you think about, and then it hits me and I start thinking about Myrna. As I was talking to someone on the phone the other day, it might have been when I was talking to Papa G, but I made the statement, if that happens, then you are going to be able to make contact. Because Jared Rand said that if they've died within 5 years, you're going to be able to see them a lot. If it's longer than that, it might only be a couple of times, 2-3 times a year, or maybe once a month. But you know what it would do for me and Ron? If we could talk to our mom once a month, even if it's for 5 minutes, our dad for 5 minutes. You know, I believe in this. I really do. There's other people out there believing all this stuff out in outer space. So that's where I am. I just wanted to put that in there. I do, before I won't go into other things, I do want to talk a little bit about Sky Prince. I haven't heard it. I don't really follow her unless you guys send me this stuff and then I watch her. I'm not a big fan, but she's very knowledgeable. But someone told me the other day, she said she was going away. She was leaving. She was done. Well, that would be the second time in the last 6 months she's told us that. It's like she's a glory seeker. And when the glory isn't coming fast enough for her, now all of a sudden she's gone. So last night I was on a chat with Marianne, which I am every Tuesday and Thursday night, getting my play-by-play, and Marianne does a great job. And thought I was going to read it. He said this was the reading one, but I didn't see it. Let me go back. Bruce Intel listing.
You got to go over a lot.
See if I can find it here, guys. Bear with me. Well, before I get that, Wolverine RV between the 25th, special beds come online on the 25th. I've heard the 25th, 26th, and 27th, Big N, Big G.
It's a matter of thing. Come on. We shut down in 10 days. Nobody can go.
What is happening? We knew we were really close to the time that we'd be there. And now everything we are hearing is pouring to this going right away. Even this evening, I received information that the F&P, the farm claims and Native American claims, will be paid out tonight and tomorrow. And hearing that happens, and then we go. The bondholders are going to receive their notifications at approximately the same time as us. Then they'll put in their codes and they will have their pre-designated amount a year ago for the first 60 days. After we exchange and redeem the ZIM, the amount we have in the QFS, we could move up to 1.6 billion into each LLC to last for 60 days. Well, if you've got 3 LLCs and you can't make $1.6 billion in 3 different accounts last, you better get a money manager.
Well, that's to take care of your project.
And after that, we can do whatever we need to do with what remains in the QFS. But 1.6B is huge. Then, once that is in the master account, and then we're able to move into whichever accounts you can have, and can have up to 3 different banks and hold accounts for you. Interest rates, that's the amount we are going to be paid in the bank accounts, not the QFS, which is a non-interest bearing. The banks will pay us. The banks will pay us interest. We have the ability to gain between 5% and 8% and 0.25%. Now, if you have a load of ZIM, the lower this rate will be. And if you are going to move millions and billions, you do not need a high interest rate. So the less you have, the more you pay. The more you have the pay, the more they'll pay you. Okay. Annual per year, 5 to 8 and 1/4%. So if you made 100 million on your whole exchange, you might be able to even get more than 8 and 1/4%. But they want us to get as many years as possible to see full fruition of the projects, which, yes. What else? At least 3 separate sources have said we would go notified and exchanged either Thursday, Wednesday, or Thursday, either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And this is definitely this week. And it is a member of the new USTN Treasury, so let's take him for his word. Now, things are happening today and tonight, including those claims being paid overnight. It should not hold us up. But With a few things going on overnight, we should be notified sometime and should be able to exchange either tomorrow or Thursday. And Bruce, really excited about where we are now. Now, Bruce isn't the only one suggesting this, but Bruce believes this is a good assessment of where we are. As far as the R&R is concerned, thank you, Jeannie. As Bruce mentioned last Thursday, will be this month, but he's not sure exactly when. The increase in SS payment to 62 and older, you'll receive that in November. The exact details of that you need to listen to the recording call. And it will be very nice amount. Bruce excited about everything coming through with the blessings for us, and also excited about people who are going to be working with Post RV. There are plenty of things to be done with many different states. So rebuild America for Florida, which has much to be done. Rebuilding donations and organizations we can work with, but please take the first few weeks to look after yourselves and do whatever you haven't been able to do for so long, and enjoy yourself. But do keep an eye on your emails for what we will be doing in the future. If you want to know more about these projects, please listen to the recordings, and apparently special beds are being made available this coming Saturday. And once we've been through the special beds, then we will be able to refer others. And if we hold ZIM, we'll be given priority. And now Bruce is going to talk about Sue and that magical bundle. Sue and her bundles. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
What's she gonna do?
When all of this happens and we don't get to hear about Sue's bundles? Me and Marianne, when we talk on Tuesday and Thursday, we have so much fun. We have so much fun with Sue and her magical bundles. But that's okay. Now, poor Bob last night, he was having all kind of trouble talking about prostates. I'm sorry. If God didn't love me so much, I'd go to hell. But it is what it is. Wow. Bill Wood says the same groceries we bought 5 years ago for $400 is now almost $700.
You should have eaten back then.
What's that?
You should have eaten back then.
Yeah, Bill. Ron says you should have ate them groceries back then. He's being a little bit of a smart ass tonight. There the voices starting to leave. This is Judy Bidington, Restored Republic via the GCR. Update as of Wednesday, 23rd October 2024. Judy Bidington, author of 22 Faces Inside the Extraordinary Life of Jenny Hill and her 22 multiple personalities. The worldwide EBS starts on Thursday, 25 October. Now, I want to discuss that just a minute before I go on to the rest of this. 2 weeks ago, remember 2 weeks ago, we were so excited. Whoa! Yippee, yippee, I had coyote. We was all excited because we were going to happen. It was going to happen. It was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, the 24th and the 25th, the 24th and the 25th, the 24th and the 25th. And I said, oh my God, I can remember. I can remember sitting on the couch right behind me, talking to Ron. I remember sitting back there and I said, It seems like so far away. And everything in all the years we've been through, because I just love it when someone says, Patriot 5, we've got to get this going. I've been doing this for 15 months. I can't take anymore. Wolvie says the other day, I can't take it any longer. I've been doing this for 5 years. Me and Ron's been doing it since 2008. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And we made a decision in 2008. And if we'd have went the other way, we'd have never met. And there's not enough money in the world that the journey we're on now would be worth it for me. Because in 2008 is when we bought our first foreign currency, the Iraqi dinar. A friend of mine, Ted Wyckols, contacted me and said, you want to be rich? And I said, yeah, after the divorce I just went through, I'd just like to have a pot to pee in. She left me bad. He said, talk to your brother, get some money. And I said, let's do a call. I'll get him on with us. Ted explained it. We went and bought $200 worth. We didn't get a lot, but we got enough that if it would have come in back then in 2008, like they said, we were supposed to get $4.50, maybe $5. I didn't even know about the beds. I didn't know about Zim. I didn't know about any of that. Just I knew about Iraqi dinar. But see, myself, Ron, and my brother Russ were cheated out of I won't say high six-figure income. From an inheritance by someone we cared for dearly. But we would rather have her as our sister than to take her to court. Ron's questioning in that one right now, but well, I think they figured out who it was when I said we wanted to have our sister. But her and my brother-in-law figured a way to get it all. I got an attorney. We could have stopped it, but they'd have had to go to jail. So we let them have it. But our thing was, if we got the $450 for what we got, each one of us would have got $300,000, which is not quite as much as we'd have got from the inheritance, but it had been enough to pay off our houses, all of our bills, get us a nice new vehicle. And even though Ron doesn't drive and I was going to get a truck, he wanted a Cadillac, and I said, you can buy it. I'll drive it. But we would have been able to live a good life, but, we would have never met. And when I think about that, I said, man, how we made the right decision, how we did the right thing. Well, shortly after that, we decided to tell our brother Russ that we were going to get about $300,000. And he goes, well, how are we going to do that? And I said, well, we bought some foreign currency. He goes, is there any other things we can do? I said, yeah, we can buy some more. He said, well, I'll put some money in. He said, but since we're buying foreign currency, why can't we buy dong, the Vietnamese currency? Because that's where he went when he was in the military. So we can. I checked into it, and we actually bought our dong from a company in Vietnam. You want to talk about authenticated? But it took a long time. I think we spent $250. My brother Russ and Ron spent that. I didn't have no money to spend at that point. What's that?
We went through Frank 26.
Ron said we went through Frank 26. But anyway, it took a long time to get it. And I had given up on it. But we still had the dinar. So we were good. And then all of a sudden it shows up. No, we only bought 2 with an M behind it. But because they had some problems shipping it, they actually shipped it to a wrong address and it came back. So that's why it was so long. they give us an extra $500,000. So now we're thinking, okay, we're supposed to get like $2 for that. And we're thinking, now we're going to become millionaires. Now, I tell you the story how we got started in this. All of a sudden, we started watching shows. We started getting involved. I listened to a video, an audio with Mr. Pillow, and he's talking about his terrible life where he almost committed suicide because he was a drug addict and he beat it. He was such a bad drug addict, but he had a great product in the pillows that he was going to help people get rich legally. That the drug lords would not sell him no more to straighten himself up. And the drug leaders sat with him to make sure he cleared himself up, cleaned himself up. And he's made 5 of them multimillionaires. But I'm thinking, God, I've died at that point, I think I had died, was told I should be dead legally 4 or 5 times. I said, heck, if he can do it, I can do it. And I can remember I felt left out. Even though I was the one buying the currency, I felt left out. Because Russ and Ron had both paid for it. And I got a little money saved up. Sitting right here in this chair right next to me. I said, Ron, I got to go home for a little bit. He looks at me and says, 8 o'clock at night? We're not going to watch TV? I said, I'll only be gone 10, 15 minutes. And I know Ron's reaction was, yeah, that's what you say. And an hour and a half later, you come back. I went out to the car. I opened up my phone. I got the phone number because I seen this currency on Facebook for Zim. Become a trillionaire. Oh, all Ron and Russ are going to make me a few 100,000, maybe a couple of million. I can make us all a trillionaire. And I looked at the price and I go, there's got to be a misprint from Banknote World there. There's got to be a misprint. So I go out to the car when I'm telling Ron I'm going home. Get on the phone and I call the guy and I said, I want to talk to you about this article. And he said, yeah. He goes, 100 trillion? And I said, yeah. I asked him the price and he told me. I said, you got to be joking. He goes, no. I said, but what if it comes in? I mean, I'm going to be rich. He said, but we're supposed to tell you that it's for entertainment purposes only. But I said, dude, I've been studying this stuff for 2 years. I know what's going on. He said, then you're ahead of the game. I said, yeah, I got a little extra money, so I want to order some. He says, okay, I'll put you down for $100 trillion note. I said, no, I got 2 brothers. He said, oh, you want 3 of them? I said, yeah, $108 for 3 100 trillion notes. I mean, if I get 1/10 of 1 penny, people have yelled at me because I've heard we could get 30 to 50 million on each note. They said, because I feel like we're getting shafted. But if we're going to get a lot more to do the humanitarian project, because where I was then, it was about money. It was about money. It was about money. When I listened to David Rodriguez and the guy that Juan Osaban come back from this one meeting in Vegas, and they challenged people to do shows. That's when I started doing shows. And when I started doing shows, it became more about the people. I didn't care about money. Am I going to be happy I'm going to get it? Yeah. But every day when I talk to God, it's not about the money. It's about what I can do and who I can help. I mean, look at these areas that was just hit. I didn't even have them down as humanitarian projects. But when I go there, I am definitely going to be talking to them at the Redemption Center about what can we give them, each one of those places. But do it in a way to make sure they get it. Not going through the cross, not going through all this other stuff, because them places are bad. So I talked long enough. There we go. So what I was trying to say is that where I wouldn't have known you guys, but I had to tell that whole story. What I was trying to say is, in 2008, when we took that first $200, we could have bought Bitcoin back then for a half a penny a piece. If we would have spent that $200 on Bitcoin and just put it up and said, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. What if we'd have held that until it hit 70,000 for each one? We'd have got 2 for a penny, 20 for a dime. At 70,000, that's 1.4 million for a dime's worth. Think about what it would be for $200 worth. And I know people say, well, you wouldn't have kept it all. You'd have cashed it in as it went to have money. Yeah, I would have. But still, what if I'd still have, when it went, what if I'd still have 1,000 of them when it hit 70,000? 1,000 times 70,000, what is that, like 7 billion? Anyway, I made the right choice because I believe that currency is no good. I believe it caused more harm, brought a lot of people money, but they're going to find themselves paying for it in the long run. But that's my opinion and my opinion only. The worldwide EBS to start 25th October. Be prepared with food, medication, etc. Take your money out of the bank. Federal government whistleblower exposes 347 million contract for transporting unaccompanied minors. Khazarian mafia attempting to steal 2024, you know what, on the 5th, with rigged, voting machines, just as they did in, when they did it before. Protect the children, All Hallows Eve. It is only wise to have at least a month's supply of food, water, cash, medicine, and essential items on hand for yourself, your family, to share with others in case of emergencies. There's a very nice poem when I am down, and oh, my soul so weary. I'm not going to read it, but if you want to go to Judy and read it, a lot of this is about the Khazarian mafia. The hat a hat victory would change all the corrupt organizations. A country run by banks will always be in debt. Health care run by big pharma will never cure disease. A state run by war will never know peace. A nation run by the media will never know the truth, said Michael Jackson on Telegram. Did you see the interview with Dopey? And they was asking questions and she'd answer. And this guy wasn't taking none of her bullcrap answers. He was rough on her. And it got to the point where he asked her one more question. You've had almost 4 years to do this. And her answer was, well, the hat, he's been doing this for almost 16 years. And he says, I'm not interviewing him. I'm interviewing him. I'm asking you a question, because when I interviewed him and I asked him, you had 4 years, why didn't you do it? And he said, are you sleeping? I did it. Charlie Kirk, I told you about him Monday night. Follow him, guys, on TikTok. See if he's on YouTube. This man goes to college campuses and talks to kids. He teaches kids. He educates kids. It's funny because you get 3 or 4 that always want to come out and try to prove him wrong. He's got a couple other people on stage with him, and you don't prove him wrong. This man knows what he's doing, and he is a hat supporter. Those days full of corruption will soon be over, including the availability of free special bed treatments. This hidden technology is previously available only to the people who do what they do, the bad people. But now we restore health by early 2025. What's coming creates freedom for all, including free, transparent, and fully secure elections on the new quantum satellite systems. The highest court in the land is the court of the public opinion. And this means you be part of history. Check and sign your letters. The rest of it is stuff we've already covered, guys. It's stuff that she talks about Bruce and everything. And I do want to apologize for going over an hour. I wanted to get you out of here in about 45 minutes, but I got on a roll. My voice was working, and I'm going to go get some dinner for me and Ron. There's 112 people, and for the 112 people that stayed through the end, thank you. I muchly appreciate it. For those who left, thank you for showing up. But Savior, if you're still on, make sure you send me that message so I can listen to that stuff tonight. All I'm going to tell you guys is I really believe this is it. This is the week. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we're all going to get, what we've been wanting and deserving for so long. I believe we'll hear an announcement about Sleepy and Dopey very soon. I believe others will be more or less saying bye-bye. It's funny, I watch these videos on TikTok. People following the hat. People supporting Dopey. And you know, it's funny because it's all these really, really rich people. All these really, really rich people who are supporting Dopey. Except for maybe the most powerful man in the world, and that's Elon Musk. Hulk Hogan. You know, you're Richard. You're welcome, Richard. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to say goodnight. Dear Lord, as we come to the end of tonight's show, let there be great news tonight from this special meetings that's going to happen any moment. When we hear about them within an hour, let it put smiles on our faces and happiness in our heart. Lord, look after all the children and keep every one of them safe, and help us, Lord, never quit. Never quit, never give up. Do not give in until every child is accounted for. Every parent has the right, whether their child comes home or not, to know what happens so they can move on. And Lord, just let us go into this beautiful new world we're going to be going to. The time is now. The time is right. As I talk to you and pray to you through our Savior, Son, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Good night, everyone. Love yous all.